Timothy Treadwell and his girlfriend Amie Huguenard were killed and almost fully eaten by a 28-year-old bear. Timothy Treadwell was an American bear enthusiast, environmentalist, and documentary filmmaker, and founder of the bear protection organization Grizzly People. Tim Treadwell's life, work, and death were the subject of Werner Herzog's documentary film Grizzly Man. Treadwell was born on Long Island, New York, one of 5 children of Val and Carol Dexter. He was the swimming team star diver at his school. Treadwell was very fond of animals and kept a squirrel named Willie as a pet. He was an ordinary young man until he went away to college. In college, he claimed that he was a British orphan who was born in Australia. Timothy became an alcoholic after he lost his role in the sitcom Cheers. After that he was addicted to drugs. A lover of animals since he was a child, Treadwell decided to travel to Alaska to watch bears. After his first meet with a wild bear, he had found his calling in life. He attributed his recovery from drug and alcohol addictions entirely to his relationship with bears. Treadwell studied the bears during summer seasons for 13 years, before being killed by one of them. Treadwell was known for getting extremely close to the bears he observed, sometimes even touching them and playing with bear cubs. He was always careful with the bears and developed a sense of mutual trust and respect with the animals. He consistently saw many of the same bears each summer, so he built a standing relationship with them. By 2001, Treadwell became sufficiently notable to receive extensive media attention both on television and in environmental circles, and he made frequent public appearances as an environmental activist. He traveled throughout the United States to educate school children about bears and appeared on the Discovery Channel. He also co-wrote Among Grizzlies, Living with Wild Bears in Alaska with Jewel Polovac, his co-worker with whom he lived for 20 years, which describes Treadwell's adventures on the Alaska Peninsula. Treadwell and Polovac founded Grizzly People, an organization devoted to protecting bears and preserving their wilderness habitat. Treadwell frustrated national park authorities by refusing to install an electric fence around his camp and refusing to carry bear spray to use as a deterrent. In fact, Treadwell had carried pepper spray with him and had resorted to using it at least one time, that he had felt terrible grief over the pain he perceived it had caused the bear and refused to use it on subsequent occasions. In October 2003, Treadwell and his girlfriend physician assistant Amie Huguenard visited Katmai National Park. Treadwell claimed to be alone with the wildlife on several occasions in his videos. However, his girlfriend Amie was with him during parts of the last 3 summers and at the time of their deaths. Huguenard feared bears and felt very uncomfortable in their presence. Treadwell set his campsite near a salmon stream where wild bears commonly feed in autumn. Usually, bears attempt to gain as much fat as possible before winter. Food was scarce that fall, causing the bears to be even more aggressive than usual. Treadwell and Huguenard were to leave the park and catch a connecting flight to return to their home in California. After an argument with the airline ticketer over the price of altering his return ticket, Treadwell and Huguenard decided to return to their campsite for an additional week. Treadwell also wanted to locate a favorite female brown bear that he was concerned about. The bears he had been used to during the summer had already gone into hibernation, and bears that Treadwell did not know from other parts of the park were moving into the area. Some of the last footage taken by Treadwell, hours before his death, includes video of a bear diving into the river repeatedly for a piece of dead salmon. Treadwell mentioned in the footage that he did not feel entirely comfortable around that particular bear. The next day, a Kodiak air taxi pilot arrived at Treadwell and Huguenard's campsite to pick them up but found the area abandoned. Immediately, he contacted the local park rangers. The couple's mangled remains were discovered quickly upon investigation. Treadwell's disfigured head, partial spine, and right forearm and hand, with his wristwatch still on, were recovered a short distance from the camp. Huguenard's partial remains were found next to the torn and collapsed tents, partially buried in a mound of twigs and dirt. A large male bear was killed by park rangers during their attempt to retrieve the bodies. A young bear was also killed a short time later when it charged the park rangers. An on-site necropsy of a larger bear revealed human body parts such as fingers and limbs. Before necropsy, the younger bear was eaten by other animals. In the 85-year history of Katmai National Park, this was the first known incident of a person being killed by a bear. A video camera recovered at the site proved to have been operating during the attack, but police said that the 6-minute tape contained only voices and cries as a brown bear mauled Treadwell to death. Treadwell said he hated modern civilization and felt better in nature with the bears than he did in big cities around humans. Eventually, his life ended with the bears, ended by the bears which he loved most. Tim Treadwell's life, work, and death were the subject of Werner Herzog's critically acclaimed documentary film Grizzly Man. Do you want to know more interesting animal-related true stories? Then don't forget to subscribe to Beastar Best. I'll catch you up in another interesting video. Leave your valuable comments in the comments box. Thank you.